Now, you're probably always looking for new ways to get better and have some kind of strategy that trumps all others. Well, today we're going to do something pretty cool for you guys on the Facts series and for the Late Night Squad, and I'm going to give you guys some pretty good tips and tricks that can help you start rising up the ranks of Fortnite Battle Royale. So this is kind of a special edition. This is a Top 10 Facts Fortnite Tips and Tricks edition. We are running a $200 Amazon gift card giveaway the entire month. All you have to do to enter is like this video, be subscribed, turn on your notifications, and leave a comment why you want to win it with your Twitter handle attached. I will announce the winner at the end of the month on Twitter. Okay, to get going, we're going to go over some simple things, okay? AR, shotgun, explosive, heals, sniper. First things first, you have to know what weapons to look for and what the necessities are. And in my opinion and many others, the best loadout is an AR, a shotgun, some explosives, and something to help with healing. The AR will help with mid to long range engagements, and the shotgun is the best choice for anything close range. Now, explosives are good for destroying enemy structures and wiping out teams clumping together, and you really want to have some explosives for the end game if you make it there. A sniper isn't necessary, but once you get situated or once the playing field starts to get smaller, you're going to want one to help out with long-range engagements. Now, the sniper can help you pick off people from a distance and not really risk that close-range fight. Since you only get one life in Battle Royale games, which is the cool part about it, it's pretty crucial that you avoid dangerous situations as much as possible, and a sniper is definitely a good way to do that. Next tip for you guys is build a lot. You have to take full advantage of the building mechanics of this game. I want you to think for a second. How many times have you died with tons of material that you could have probably used to your advantage? If someone is shooting you from the sides, build a wall. If you're anticipating getting shot from above, put a roof over your head. The building mechanics of Fortnite are very unique, and they take a little while to get used to. I'm still getting used to them myself, and to fully understand how to use them when you're in trouble, or to use them to your advantage. The best Fortnite players out there are absolute monsters when it comes to building on the fly and adapting to any situation. But once you figure out the best way to build, you have to be very liberal with it. Build as much as you can, and do not hesitate to give yourself cover and protection, even if you're stopping to bandage or you're just getting out of the storm. You can build a few walls. It's not going to hurt you. You are not going to take those materials with you to the grave. Speaking of building, let's talk about how to quickly destroy someone else's structure. Shooting the base, okay? If there's a group of enemies in a structure and they're on the second level of it, it's pretty instinctual to just shoot at the second story, right? However, the most efficient way to destroy someone else's structures is shoot the base of it, shoot the bottom, and leave the rest of it to crumble on its own. Shooting the second story or shooting out random walls is only going to waste your resources, and bullets are very, very, very rare resources. Learn to just take out the base of the structures, as this will be much more helpful in the long run. Sound whore. I'm not calling you a whore. I'm saying sound whore. This is a given. You have to play Fortnite with high volume and with a good set of headphones. Fortnite is not a game that you can just kick back on the couch and play. You have to take the game seriously if you really want to win, and since this is a one-and-done kind of game, everybody is going to be choosing their movements wisely, as no one wants to be heard, and Fortnite has amplified all sounds. Because people are going to be conservative with their movements, you have to be able to identify those movements and take advantage of them on the fly. A good pair of headphones will help with this game. Trust me, this is not a game where you want to play it with no sound on. You'll be at a huge disadvantage. Speaking of sound, you need to learn to distinguish teams' footsteps from enemies. On the topic of sound whoring, let's talk a little bit about duos and team play, because those can make sound whoring a little more difficult. In solos, you can just wait and listen for any kind of movement because you know that everybody is an enemy. However, when you have teammates hanging out, moving around with you, it can be a little tougher to identify the enemy movement. One good way to actually distinguish the difference is just keep an eye on your teammates and stay in communication. Make sure you know where your team is moving around so you know that you're not hearing anything going wrong. And if you start to suspect that an enemy is close, tell your teammates to stop moving so you can listen a little closely. Playing Fortnite with buddies is a ton of fun, but it's very different from playing solos, and you have to get used to the adjustments that you'll have to make, and you need to have constant battle chatter when it comes to having teammates. Using launch pads to get into other bases. That's what everybody wants. For glory. You want the amazing launch pad into the game or into the opponent's base for a triple kill in that victory royale. We talked earlier about destroying enemy structures from the base, but you don't have to do that if you want to get up close and personal with somebody hanging inside a building. The launch pads can be very helpful with breaching enemy structures, and one of my favorite methods of doing so is to use the launch pad to get to the top of an enemy building, and then you just bust through the ceiling. Or maybe you chuck some explosives through the roof, which I did yesterday with a snowball launcher into the top of this dude's base, and it was so satisfying. Or maybe you just want to hang out on the roof and actually force them to adjust their positioning. The best thing you could do is to make the enemy uncomfortable, and then they're probably going to make a bad decision. The high ground is so important when it comes to any multiplayer game, and especially in Fortnite, and the launch pads are a very good way of getting it. I've done this a few times in squads with my buddies, using launch pads to escape the storm. Another great use of them is to use them to get away from the storm. Since the launch pads get you so high up in the air, you can just pop your umbrella. It's far quicker and safer to escape the storm via air than staying on the ground. The one downside of this method is, well, you're floating through the air and pretty much everyone in the world can see you. So if you decide to use this method to escape the storm, just be aware of your surroundings before you actually take flight. If there's no one around, this is probably one of your best transportations to get out of the storm in Fortnite. But if there's someone nearby to you, you're probably pretty much toast. So you probably only want to use this if it's one of those times, which we've all been there. Let me know in the comment section if you have, where you're just busy, you're in an engagement, or you're looting, and all of a sudden you look up and you're like, holy crap, the storm is on me. Crouch whenever you shoot, but don't stay still. In gunfights, you obviously want to be as accurate as possible, and that's where crouching comes into play. Crouching will greatly increase your accuracy and handling, allowing you to hit shots more consistently. However, the downside of this is the fact you're going to be standing still if you just choose to crouch and open fire. The more you guys play Fortnite, the more you'll get used to the way the guns handle, and you'll be able to handle the recoil better and better, and this is when you will be able to start crouching while moving around and shooting. If you have the drop on someone, definitely crouch and try to be as accurate as possible, but if you're in an active gunfight and your guys are exchanging fire, definitely don't stay still. Jump around, whatever you have to do, especially if you're in shotgun combat, and you'll get better as you go. I get better with it every single day. One of the biggest common mistakes that people make is they miss ammo boxes, and then they get toward the end game and they don't have enough ammo. They are everywhere. Use them. Playing Fortnite without a lot of ammo is pretty much a death wish. The ammo boxes are plentiful in this game, and you should never hesitate to pick one up, whether it's under the stairs, behind furniture, anywhere. They are everywhere, up in the attic. Even if you think you have enough ammo, pick it up anyway. You never know when you're going to start spraying and praying or something happens when you're going to end up losing a good amount of ammo. Always pick up ammo boxes, and we talked about earlier, shooting out the bottom of bases. If you don't have explosives, you're going to be shooting them out with your AR most likely, and you need as much ammo as you can get. So much ammo gets wasted and never picked up from ammo boxes because a lot of people don't even realize that they're on the map. And the final thing that I can tell you guys is learn the chest locations and things you're picking up. Make sure you know where all these chests could be or possibly are. The map has a bunch of set locations for chests, and I'm still learning them as I go too. But each match randomly chooses which locations are actually utilized. This means that you can learn the locations of each chest spawn, but you will have to be able to adapt if a certain spawn isn't used. And this is where you find a spot where you have multiple options, A, B, and C, where you know you're going to get at least one chest. Whenever you find a chest, try to remember where it was and where all the other chests are nearby. Maybe even try to come up with routes to get you from chest spawn to chest spawn.
This community can work to give them a life that was as good as or better than the ones that we were.
That way, if you drop into the map and a chest isn't there, you can run over to another nearby spawn. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. There's a little spot between Salty and Fatal, and it's a good spot for me. I love it because it's like a three-step process. I drop down there, there's a couple broken houses. I know I'm going to get at least one chest and probably a green gun and maybe a shield potion. And then I move my way over to Quarry, which is behind Fatal, get me some brick, get me some more chest shield potions, and I am ready for whoever comes out of Fatal or whoever comes out of Salty. So that's kind of one of the routes that I take myself. But everybody learns their own routes. You guys let me know in the comment section what your favorite route is. And there you have it, guys. This is something a little different to the Facts series. It's kind of a special edition, but the original Fortnite Facts went over very well, so I thought this would be informative as well. If you guys enjoyed it, if you're enjoying Fortnite, drop a like on the video. There's a playlist below if you guys want to check out all the other Facts videos that go up. A brand new one every night. It's late, 11 o'clock.